Hello and welcome back to SparkleDart. I just finished all of my coffee and I'm absolutely wired now. So I just said no, I didn't understand coffee abilities, didn't I? That's why I've been being bamboozled this whole time. I'm guessing, is that not the case? So, anyways, I drank all of my coffees and I'm absolutely wired now. Coffee is something that a lot of people start their days and they're like, oh, I can't start my day without my coffee. I need my coffee, coffee this, coffee that. Don't talk to me unless I've had my coffee. And they think it's like a funny joke, but it's like, that's a serious addiction is coffee. Caffeine addiction, it's a thing. I had a friend one time who had drank so many Mountain Dews in his days that he started going through caffeine withdrawals once he started to stop drinking them. And maybe it wasn't caffeine, maybe it was just the lack of sugar in his body. Maybe he had some sort of like type 2 diabetes or something like that. And it's like, you really need to be able to function without this, because if you can't function without this, then it can cause real serious problems for you and your body. The sugars, I hear it's bad for your torso, your joints, your mental clarity, stuff like that. And you need to. Oh, nice, lucky cat. You need to be more mindful of the things around you. And by the way, I've never played this particular game before, so I'm not exactly certain what I have to do. So if you see me doing something absolutely stupid, then just keep it to yourself, please. Don't these hate comments, very very rude, very unbecoming of you. And if you're a stand-up gentleman, then you would never say something so rude to your best friend SparkleDart, would you? That's just absolutely ridiculous. So please, yes, I will save. Thank you. Thank you for asking. How do I do it? Okay, there we go. So yeah, anyways, these people drinking coffee all the time. It's like, I like coffee, and the thing is, they say everything's good in moderation, and I've actually heard, like, they got studies out for things like coffee, and they say that it's like good for you, helps you lose weight or something like that. And I'm like, is that true? Is that really true? Or is that just a way that people like justify their intake habits? People say like, yeah, white wine or red wine is good for you, antioxidants, hot, healthy. Go ahead and eat it. Eat it. Yeah, you eat wine. Yeah, that's what you do. Get away from me, you bear. And then they justify their habits by like, oh yeah, scientific studies, that's what they say, that must make it true, because they would never say something, they would never make such a bold statement if it wasn't true. And I'm like, that's not exactly, I can't vouch for that. That sounds like something that maybe you should do some introspective thinking into realizing more about yourself and the decisions that you're making, that maybe they're not so good for you, and you feel like you need to be just do that fucking bear. How do I do it? Stop. I did it before. You know what? I apologize for this. Alright, there we go. I figured I've solved the puzzle, the riddle that nobody else could solve. I've done it. I've cracked the case. I just gotta crack this case. This must be really hard to watch. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. I'm just kind of screwing around. I'm killing time for now. I got a quota to meet every week. I gotta do 5 episodes because that's my new biz. And since I haven't been... Yeah, you fucking kick his ass there, Blondie. Watch you, Jughead. Get out of here. That's what I like to see. That's showing a little class there. That's being a well stand-up, put-together gentleman. So I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna just run. Is this a game where I can just run and have fun? Because that's what I like to do. I don't like to think too much when I play video games. I think video games is something you should just have fun doing. They're not like art or nothing. They're not like grandiose adventures, like big adventures that you go and spend multiple days on, having fun, going out on like a journey, a quest, or something like that. And you might be thinking, yes, they are. They are very much like that. I'm like, I can see why you might think that, and I can see why you'd want to justify being able to say something like that. But, you just gotta realize that video games are just a passive form of entertainment, much like anything else, like reading a book or watching television. Now, people don't watch television and be like, I'm such an auteur. I'm such a classy person for watching Mad Men, or I watch Frasier, and they say that it's a smart show, and I'll believe it, even though I don't understand half the jokes that they talk about. Even though I do like David Hyde Pierce, he's a good actor, and I watched Cheers, and Frasier was on that. I'm like, Frasier, I'll give it a shot. Cheers was a good program if you've ever watched that. It was about a man in a bar named Norm, and also a bunch of friends who like to go off work and get drunk all the time, and it was like funny. And then there was like an actor who was on the show who passed away, and they had to continue the show without him, and they did it very gracefully, even though they had filmed several episodes. They had filmed several episodes before he died that they had to like retroactively fix or something like that. They had to edit him out of the videos because they were in them, and it was like, well, you're just being distasteful. Like the gentleman from Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. You know that TV show. That was a popular TV show when it was on, and then they had to like run one more season to explain the aftermath of the first season, and they wanted to continue it for longer, but they couldn't do that because Grandpa was dead, and they couldn't like continue the show. That's like if they tried to continue making Everybody Loves Raymond after Frank died, even though the actor's still alive, I believe. That's not something that's happened yet, but it'll happen. And when it happens, you'll hear about it because I will be talking about that. I'll be very sad. I'll be a very sad little boy. And you don't want to see a sad SparkleDart. That's a sad thing. You don't want to look at that. That's a little too much, I think, for one humanoid to bear arms. Can I go down here? Doesn't appear that I can. So yeah, I don't know. It's a whole thing when like an actor dies on a popular TV show. It's like, it was a good ride, but you have to learn how to end the show when it's past its peak. Like I've talked about The Office before, I believe, and how they should have ended it after Steve Carell decided to leave the program. And it's like, well, we're going to continue the show anyways because people still want more, so we're going to make more, and that's just how it's going to have to be because as long as it's profitable, I'm going to continue doing it. Now, like Michael Schur and Paul Liebestein, they were both actors on the show, but they were also both writers for the show, and BJ Novak, they all kind of decided to leave when it was over, and I can't blame them too much for that. It's like, I know that the show's ending, it's going to end either this season or next season, I just know it, and I don't really want to be on this sinking ship when it finally capsizes because of that. Oh, I can go up here, okay, well, how do I do it? Slowly but surely. This is fun. This is enjoyable. I like this. This is nice. Now, so they continue making the show even though it should have ended a long time ago. You might be thinking, well, SparkleDart, you should have ended your show a long time ago because you're a hack, you don't know what you're doing, you're crazy, you're a liar, you make these big promises that you never come through on, and I get really disappointed when whenever you claim you're going to do something and then you don't do it, and then you stop producing videos, and it's like I knew he didn't have it in him. I knew he was gonna fail, and I'm like, that's really hurtful. I can't believe you'd say that to your buddy, your pal. If you want to maybe take that back, I'll consider changing my opinion. But at this point, I'm just going to have to ask you to stop being so rude. I don't like rude behaviors. I don't like people who. Well, I guess he died. What do I do? I don't even get this. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I'm too dumb. I'm too stupid to understand this. That's kind of how it is. That's how it must be because I'm just fucking around right now. Like I said, I'm not really trying anymore. Just trying to meet a quota. That's all I'm trying to do. And if you're interested in, I guess Kirby's cave offensive, then this is the program for you, and stick around, and then we'll have more fun. But if you're not interested in this so much, then I guess you're gonna have to just take a minute and go find something else to do for a little while, because this is what we're gonna be doing. I'm finding treasure. I'm on a treasure hunt. I like to obtain gold coins and all sorts of things like that. And if you want to join me on my treasure hunt, then you can. But like I said, it's not very entertaining. It's not very interesting. So I don't know, I must be getting up there in time, right? I don't know what time I started this episode, so I think I might cut it short because I've been running a little long lately, and I don't want to run too long because I got stuff to do, you know, and I don't want to spend all my time editing videos because that's just something that takes a lot out of you, you know, it takes a lot of time to do stuff like that, and if you got too much to edit, then you got too much to fucking worry about all the time, and you know, I can't spend all my time worrying about stuff that is inconsequential in the long run anyways, because it's just not my style, you know. I'm a very laid back person, and if I have to spend all my time just looking at stuff in Adobe Premiere, then it's like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? I don't know, because I have to like sit and meet a fucking quota. And since I'm dead, I'm going to go ahead and call this one good. So thank you for sticking around and watching. I know this was probably a pain to watch because I'm a very rude boy sometimes and I have an attitude, a bit of a mouth. But you're the one who decided to stick around and watch, and I thank you for that. So if you stuck around and watched all this, I'm SparkleDart. Goodbye, moi. Goodbye, moi.